I just got done camping. I picked up I needed a reason to get away, so I picked up this Opus 15 over here, this badass camper, and got away in the woods for 3 days. And I'm reading a book, and I'm kind of mentally prepping for Squire in April 20th, right? April 20th. 15-hour experience, rite of passage for sons, 11 to 17, and their fathers. But as I'm reading this book, they came up with something called the five types of fathers that I posted, and it definitely struck a chord with a lot of people. It struck a chord with me. So, what type of father are you? Are you the irresponsible father, one who has literally zero involvement with his kids, just someone who completely bails on them to the point that they don't even know who he is? The ignorant father, who has no idea what he's doing, continually wreaks havoc in the lives of his children without even realizing it. He doesn't know anything about being a father. He doesn't even try to learn or improve. Because of all of this, he ends up protecting his own brokenness, or projecting his own brokenness into the lives of his children. Talked about that before, about how if we do not break the chains, the things that bind us, we just pass those chains off to our kids. How about the inconsistent father, who is torn by personal ambition? He has the capability of doing better at this fathering thing, but instead he prioritizes his own job and career and hobbies. These binges of selfishness are often followed by guilt and feeble attempts to fix everything by like big things, like you buy your kid something that he didn't work for or didn't deserve just because you feel guilty. And this is where I hope that the majority of people fall into, is the involved father. The involved father, this type of dad, shows up at sporting events, takes the time to put porn filters on his kids' devices. He gets a lot of things right, but because of the business of life and the failure to ask the right questions, he never seeks to understand specifically who his children are and why God gave them to him. This is a noble dad, but one haunted by the sense that there is something more, another level in his parenting that he hasn't unlocked yet. Those are the guys that we work with. The involved father, they do the best that they can. They know there's definitely something more, and typically it's because there's something more in them that they haven't unlocked, right? Their own personal growth, their own ability to transcend to the next level of being a man. Then there's the intentional father. This is where I live, and I audited myself while we were out there, because I said, okay, Allie, we're gonna get real. So what type of father am I? And this is where we should all strive to be. The intentional father is deeply invested in discovering who his children are, how he can help them reach their redemptive potential. He seeks to understand the children God has given him, and he wants to form them into young persons who can fulfill their purpose. He sees parenting as essential to his call before God, and does it with all of his might. This kind of father leaves multi-generational blessings in their lives of his children. This book is about becoming that fifth kind of father. A lot of dads are out there, and they're being the one that shows up. They're being the one that goes to the soccer practices. They're there. But it's not enough to just be there. It's not enough to just be present. We have to be intentional. We have to be intentional about the lessons that we do, everything down to our own being in charge of our own emotions. Intentional about the way that we show affection to our wives, their mothers, how we date them, how we date our mothers, and we show them that, because it's not just about showing up. If you're the fat dad at the soccer game and you show up every day, that's step one, great. But how you show up intentionally matters. That's the difference. What is the image that you're portraying? What is the example that you're portraying? What is the lesson that we are teaching our youth And now more than ever, we need intentional fathers. We need intentional fathers more now in this country than ever because of the problems that we're dealing with. The opposition wants to just castrate men. They want to castrate fathers. They want to just destroy patriarchy at any place that they can, so that why? They can gain control of your children's attention. If they can gain control of your children's attention, well, now they can control the market. They control who's, what their decision-making process is. And the only way that our children are going to be the next great leaders of this country and their families is if we are the intentional father in every way. But that starts right here. That starts with me. It starts with you. With us making those choices to be the very, very best men that we can be. The ones that can be the lion, can be violent if we need to, but also be the lamb in the house when it calls for that. So what kind of father are you?